Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
I see it every day, right? And I think resentment is one of those words that none of us, at least for me, I didn't really truly understand, like, how does that manifest? Like, am I being resentful? Is this just like my healing process, right? And so I'm curious for us to even kind of start there, like, how do we see resentment build over time, right? Like, is it typically quiet? Like, how does this manifest in whether you're dating or in a relationship? I'm curious what you've seen.
Okay, so let's define it, because I feel like we have to define stuff in order to be able to dominate it. Because if you don't have a definition, you're just kind of like aimlessly looking at stuff. So resentment is a feeling that develops from a belief, because there's a sort of like a subjective part to resentment, from a belief that you have been wronged over time. And this will eventually show up as things like mistrust in the relationship, lack of feelings of warmth, pulling away, treating the person a little bit differently. And it usually develops in 3 major ways. So it's either a big bang. So there's like an event, whether like maybe there's infidelity or there's some major betrayal, or there is a slow build. And that's kind of what you're talking about, like this quieter resentment, that it's just like we'll talk about unmet needs and expectations, but a lot of times those are pathways to resentment. So it's like, over time, maybe you're expressing your need and like again and again, it's neglected or it's minimized or it's criticized. And so you have this sort of erosion of feelings of safety and belief in this person that just start to build and build and build over time. And then there's this other one that I call the end of excuses, which is sort of like, and maybe you can resonate with this, where it's like you're in a relationship and you're like, I am going to sort of bend and mold myself so that I make it totally possible for this person to finally meet my needs, to finally take care of me in the way that I need. So I'm going to make all these accommodations to make it easy for them. And then they don't do it still. And so it's like you're hurt and you're resentful about the original issue, and then you're hurt and resentful because of all of the accommodations you've made, and they still...
I'm upset. The voice of reason is perplexed. Could the core of conflict come from unmet needs? That clip was Dr. Morgan Cutlip. Could the core of conflict arise from unmet needs? And if so, is it your partner's responsibility? I've been in an argument with a clinical psychologist, a doctor, for months about this topic, right? I have provided empirical and clinical evidence on my side. And she has retorted with the opposite. There's a clinical psychologist that is a member of our cigar lounge. And I'm in there picking her brain every day. She was actually a panelist on one of my live shows or live events. And I'm picking her brain. The reason why we have needs that are to be met is because some primary caregiver in our past neglected us, wasn't emotionally attuned. We carry that into adult relationships with the implicit hope, right, that our partner will finish our parent's job. This is where a lot of the conflict comes from. This is where I didn't sign up for this comes from. This is where you promised this was supposed to happen. Do you see what? At the end of the day, all core needs can be met internally. But we've never been taught that. Do you see what I'm saying? We've never been taught that. We've never, listen, if you see me up here talking about individuation, becoming a whole person, right? You've never been a whole person in a relationship with another whole. Listen. Okay. So maybe you can't just be a whole person overnight. Maybe you're on the individuation path and it's a lifelong path. I'll give you that. But if you're doing this work, do you think maybe you might lessen the burden on your partner to fulfill what your parent didn't or couldn't? How many of you have gone into the relationship with implicit agreements, silent contracts? Each relationship operates under a set of unspoken agreements, often forged in childhood as survival adaptations. Philosophically speaking, replacing the term require with invite in discussions about dismantling harmful practices can facilitate healthier dialogues and actions. Guided dialogues should be employed to surface these implicit or silent contracts, inviting partners to renegotiate their relational agreements openly. Right? Many of you think that, well, that's what the man is supposed to do, or that's what the woman is supposed to do. Do you see? And then later, that silent contract, right, blows up in your face, and then there's conflict. Right? What about emotional absenteeism? Emotional neglect can inflict deep injuries, right? Deeper injuries than overt actions of betrayal, according to John Bowlby, 1988. By offering clarity, we can redefine harm in relation to emotional experiences, illuminating how absence may indicate a withdrawal from conscious engagement. Implementing micro practices for emotional availability can bridge this gap, fostering intimacy within a framework of mutual support. How can you mutually support me if you haven't learned how to support yourself? How can we support each other mutually if we haven't learned to support ourselves? We want mutual respect, but you disrespect yourself every time you ignore your shadow, every time you ignore your inner child, every time you suppress a wound that needs your attention, that needs your love, empathy, and nurturing. Every time you ignore that and you run to your partner to show up for your need, but you won't show up for your own need. Come on now. And you wonder why your relationship is conflict-ridden. Do you see? What are you willing to live with? And what is a relationship killer? And why is it a relationship killer? Is it a killer because it opens you It rips your facade to shreds. Is that why it's a killer? It's easy to live in a low-stakes relationship, but it's human to live in a high-stakes one. Oh, here we go. Right? Oh. Ooh, you living in a high-stakes relationship, man. You're on the road to individuation. You're on the road, partner. Self-accountability in the mirror of conflict. Projection and self-identity. Our perception of conflict shifts remarkably when we remove our identity from the narrative we tell. But we gotta be a victim and we gotta be right. We're a victim who's right about everything. Can't be wrong about nothing. And you think that stance has nothing to do with the conflict you say you don't want and you say you didn't co-create. Right? This egoic distancing not only enhances accountability, but fosters empathy, inviting reflection on how our stories, the narratives we tell ourselves and our partners, shape our perception of others. Sanger, 2016. The narrative we create directly influences our relational experiences. When we detach ourselves from being the protagonist, the dynamics of blame often dissolves. What about defensiveness versus integrity? If you did something wrong, that was a lack of integrity. But if you owned up to it, that is a show of integrity. And as a work in progress, someone who is in flux, that makes sense for a normal human being. So why is it so difficult for many people to own up to and be accountable for what they did wrong? Defensive posturing emerges when individuals conflate their identity with their opinions. Gottman, 1999. Here, using Alfred Korzybski's English Prime, we can better define and better identify when protecting an image supersedes personal integrity. Engaging in pauses during conflict can allow partners to assess whether they are aligning with truth or merely defending an egoic position. How often have you defended your ego rather than tell the truth and get back in alignment with your partner? How often have you chose your ego over alignment with your partner? Whew. Heavy stuff. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. John, Mountain View, Hawaii. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings. I hope I can be heard because I'm currently en route home.
We can hear you, brother. You sound great. Talk to us.
Okay, let's choose violence for 500.
Violence for 500, Alex.
Okay, let's talk about the Superman suit you put me in and you didn't tell me anything about. Also having me on the time clock to fix everything that goes on in the relationship, including you. And there's a time limit on it if I fail. Adding nuance to the injury of a relationship, and you put me on this, yet at the same time, with your actions that tell me differently, and you're still trying to coax me into something you won't just say. Ma'am, I don't need your actions. I need your words. Where they at?
Say more about that.
You can act all day.
I don't need your actions.
You can put on lingerie. You can put on all these different things saying you're telling me the story. And if I got to read it blindfolded, excuse me, ma'am, take off the mask. Tell me to unsuit myself because these PJs don't fit anyway. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what I need to fix. So maybe at that point I can maybe individuate. And if you give me the same amount of time frame that you already didn't give me, because I'm still on the clock, to fix everything, including you.
I love it, brother. I love it, man. You got to get home safe, my friend, okay?
30 more minutes, I'll be there.
I love it, man. Guess what you just did?
Mountain View is in the house. Blessings to all. And again, I don't choose violence often, but tonight was a good night.
I love it,
Blessings.
man. Love it, love it, love it. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let me say this. You know what's interesting? If you study the ancients, right? Ancient Buddhism, ancient Taoism, ancient Hinduism, right? Ancient Christianity. People were getting into a state of communion with God. You can call it nirvana, self-realization, self-actualization. Why in the Western world does individuation take a lifetime? Right? You hear clinicians saying, oh, this is a lifelong process of constantly getting better. We're humans, we're flawed, and individuation is not something that happens and then it's done. Like, this is a process that you have to continually maintain. But we have people like Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar, Babaji, right? Or at least, excuse me, Maha Avatar Babaji, right? We have people who reached a level of moksha, realization, nirvana that put them in direct contact with God, and they stayed there. Why can't we? Right? We don't take relationships seriously enough. Relationships are designed to move us away from our inner work. That's what most people say. It's not supposed to be hard. There should be no conflict. No, relationships are designed to put you on the road to individuation through conflict. Conflict has a purpose. Conflict has a meaning. Many people don't want conflict because they know it is the end of their ego. It is the end of their small self. It's the end of their puny, spiritually bereft self. Do you see? They want to hold on to it because they don't think there's anything else after that, or bigger than that, or more meaningful than that. You heard me talk about the narratives. Gives them so much power to be right, to be a right victim. When we come forward, we going back to the phone lines because people want to talk.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Money, diamonds, house in different cities. I'm living my wildest dreams. Crooked smile, I'm in with all the power. Can do what I want, but I'm empty. Baddies got a model, movie options to making a movie scene. I know all the game, but what's it really mean? Lord knows I tried to give up, tried what I thought could be love, tried taking chances and chance brought me down to my knees. Girl, I've been so dumb, don't wanna be a fool out of love all alone. Girl, I've been so wrong, buying up the well just to make it feel like home.
When I was starting to date Martha, my fiance, like just early, the first date, I was just like, I'm going to share not all of me, but kind of all of me up front. And
no games?
Yeah, no games. Just like, this is who I am. This is my flaws. This is my mistakes. This is the things I'm working on. This is, the things I'm good at, all these things.
Mhm.
And I kind of was completely unattached to the result.
Yeah.
Like, if she likes me, cool. If she doesn't like me, at least she knows who I am.
Yeah.
And it was freeing. It felt freeing to be like, okay, this is me. I'm not playing any games. I was just like, if you like me, cool. If you don't like me, cool.
Yeah.
And that gave me freedom to be myself. And I think it allowed me to see, does she really like me for kind of all of me, of what I'm able to show.
You weren't trying to impress her. You were trying to access a healthy relationship.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what the goal should be.
And it was almost like if she didn't want to hang out with me again, I wasn't going to be upset or hurt that she wasn't into me. I'd be like, okay, this just didn't work out.
I think that comes from you having done a lot of work on yourself to get to the point where you felt pretty accepting of yourself at that stage.
Yeah. I couldn't do that in my 20s.
No, because I think the game playing originates from this feeling of, I'm starting from behind. I'm starting from not being good enough. So how can I manufacture a dynamic that is going to raise my value?
How can I show my best self?
Or how can I create a mirage of a self that doesn't exist?
Interesting.
What am I trying to do by not texting you back for 3 days? I'm trying to create this idea of myself as this extremely busy, high demand person, as opposed to the person that I am. And by the way, if I was that really busy, high in demand person, I probably still wouldn't wait 3 days to text you back. Because I would say, hey,
That's hussy, right, Matthew? Matthew up there cooking. Boy. The voice of reason live from KBLA Talk 1580. You already know what it is. Let me do this really quickly before I get to my callers. Hey, man, in celebration of Nipsey Hussle's 40th birthday, Metro is launching 2 limited edition tap cards that pay tribute to his life, legacy, and cultural impact on the city of Los Angeles. You know what it is. KBLA Talk 1580 has your free tap cards Friday, that's tomorrow, August 15th, first things first, with Dominique DePrima. You already know what it is. She's from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Just call in 1-800-920-1580. We want to shout Dominique DePrima out for acknowledging the LA legend Nipsey Hussle. Let's get it. Hey, Eric from Carson. Come on, C. Arson, get up in here. La Leezy in the Heezy. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I'm looking for the voice of reason.
This is he.
Hey, this is a little deviant from what you're talking about, so I hope it's not too far off.
All right, let's see where you go with it.
Okay, so I'm not talking about a romantic relationship. I'm talking about a relationship with all of my friends. I did a test. I started this test the 1st of August.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to give people what they give me. So if I call you and you don't call me back for a week, I'm going to do that too. If I ask you for advice and you aren't there for me, when you ask me for advice, I'm not going to be there for you. And I've done this with my cousins, with my friends. I have an issue going on right now with my best friend who is a female because she has not been there for me. And I checked on her to make sure she was doing okay. I texted her and she said, "Oh, I'm doing good." And I'm like, I wonder why I haven't heard from her in like 6 weeks. I've reached out to her. So I've learned that people don't like you giving them what they give you.
Wait, stay right there, Eric. Boy, Eric is cooking. Hey, I knew C. Arson was going to show up and show out. When we come forward, me and Eric are going to continue this conversation. Let's get it.
Cocoa butter, baccarat on covers. I smell it on my sheets. I heard you say that you might love another and filled up my world with envy. And I can't stop reminiscing when we relive in a moment where you were meant for me. But all this fame and fortune can't afford me what I need.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A new eviction protection office has opened in South Los Angeles' Crenshaw area. Black Mayor Karen Bass says the We Are LA program, launched in 2023, has helped over 105,000 people stay in their homes, with more than 1,000 already getting eviction defense at the new site.
Preventing the inflow of people on the street has been one of the greatest challenges.
The program is funded by the city, Measure ULA, and donations. Most of the Texas House Democrats who fled to block a GOP redistricting map they say will harm voters of color are expected to return this weekend after the special session ends Friday. Governor Greg Abbott plans to call another session immediately. And former New York Governor David Paterson is endorsing Black Mayor Eric Adams in the crowded NYC mayoral race, calling him the leader New Yorkers need for protection. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT. Because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Is it fire that I'm holding? Feel it burning through the morning. All I need is the cool in your ocean breeze. I've been flying at the silver line. Wishful thinking that you're still mine. I just want everything I was supposed to be.
Existence, the feeling of being, is a sort of spectrum. Just as light is at one end red and at the other end violet. And you have to have these extremes in order to have color at all, in order to know light. So you see, likewise, we have to have the experience that there is somebody else, something else going on altogether out of our control, in order to have the experience of being me. And so in order to feel good, to feel that life is worthwhile, that existence is worth going on with, in order to bring out that feeling, just as the red brings out the violet, there has to be in the back of our minds, maybe very far away, the comprehension that there is something that could happen, that absolutely mustn't happen, that is the horrors, that is the screaming mimes at the end of the line. We have to know that's there. And every so often, that has to happen.
I love Alan Watts. Alan Watts be cooking. But Eric from Carson was cooking. Oh, no, we can't let Eric go now. Hold on. Eric said, I'm about to mirror you. You don't call me, I don't call you. You don't check in, check on me, I ain't checking in and checking on you. That go for family members, friends. I ain't messing with you if you ain't messing with me. Eric, get in here and finish articulating your disgust for people that are one-sided in your life.
Well, the most difficult part is now I feel guilty.
Talk to me. Because you're a human being. Talk to me. Here we go.
And so my friend decided I'm ready to talk after 6 weeks. And I decided, you ain't going to talk to me. I'm busy. So I didn't get the message. And then I didn't get the text message that followed up with the voicemail. And then my cousin emailed me a question like she usually does. She didn't answer my question a month ago. So I haven't responded to her email yet. But I'm torn because I love her to death.
All right, so let me stop you. Is your act of mirroring their behaviors, is it a way to communicate that if you don't do what I do for you, if you don't do for me what I do for you, right, I will continue to do what you do to me, which is, you're not responding, I'm not responding. You're not communicating, I'm not communicating. Are you trying to send a message?
Yep.
You're trying to create changed behavior?
I'm actually being passive aggressive, and I don't like.
Come on, come on. This is why I pointed it out. It's manipulation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So the reality of it is you're not speaking when you should speak. This is the opportunity to speak, though.
Well, I'm afraid, and I'd like to tell you why very quickly.
I'm listening, brother.
This same friend told me, don't make yourself the bad guy when you get into situations with people. And I kind of feel like I'm doing that, but the way me and you are having a discussion right now, a lot of people either don't know how to do it or they don't want to do it. And so I need to let my friend know I don't appreciate when you're not there for me, but you always want me to be there for you. And I'm afraid that if I be honest, it may start an argument.
So watch this. I think you've applied a strategy to the wrong scenario. Right? I could see if the person who wants you to reach out just wants you to share time. Just talking, small talk, nothing really meaningful. And then if you don't reach out to them, it's like, how come you don't reach out to me? Because we don't really talk about anything. But if these are conversations about support, right? You have to articulate why you feel some type of way instead of going the manipulator route. Does that make sense?
It's more fun to be manipulative.
We having fun now with manipulation? Come on. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how come you don't call? Is really how come you don't support.
Yeah.
Now, you have a legitimate position here. I'm not supporting because you're not supporting. Right? But you have to articulate that. You have to share that. You have to say, listen, I love pouring into you and helping you walk through whatever it is you're walking through. But you do know that, yes, I may project as strong and I don't need help and whatever, but you do know that I need help sometimes. And if I can pour into you, hey, recycle some of that I gave you. Sometimes I need you to pour it right back. But you got to check in, you got to tap in, and you got to be aware of what's going on. You got to have that kind of conversation. Now, why choose the passive-aggressive route? Why did you choose that?
First of all, I like what you just said. Mm-hmm. And I think I don't think I like the passive-aggressive route.
Well, you said it was fun.
I was kidding.
Okay, cool, because I was worried. Go ahead.
I think it's the easiest way and the safest way to deal with people who let you down.
But people are going to let you down, Eric. They're going to do that. And not all the time, but they're going to let you down. The question is, which hurts more? You letting yourself down or them letting you down?
How could I have let myself down?
Guess what? Could the relationship have been better if you would have tried a different approach other than manipulation and passive-aggressive tactics?
Now it's my responsibility.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Could the relationship have been better? Could you have circumvented all the extraness by going direct and not passive aggressive, and saying, hey, can we do this together? If I got you, you get me. Can we make this agreement?
That sounds good.
Yeah, you're looking for them to change while you remain the same. Remember, the analyzed is the analyzed, the analyzer is the analyzed. The mirror. You remember that Krishnamurti clip earlier?
Yeah.
Come on. So you want to stay who you are, passive aggressive, kind of manipulative. I'm gonna take myself away so you can see my value, and then you show it. But you don't want to take the extra step, and then you frame it as a negative. So I gotta do this. So it's on me. Yes. Now, if they don't change, guess what? Did you do what you were supposed to do?
Meaning me?
Yes.
So basically what you just said is, I changed my behavior.
Come on.
Hold them accountable.
Yes.
But I have to be prepared to let them go if they won't comply.
It's not about compliance. It's about seeing your perspective. And if they're resistant and unwilling, now you know where you stand.
And then what I do?
You can do what you want to do. You can go try again, or then you can step off because you understood the assignment. You showed up and said, hey, no. We're not doing it that way. And this is why, because I care about you. And if I care about you and I know you care about me, we have to get into this organic reciprocity cycle where we're pouring into each other. Now, if they're unwilling to do that, did you do what you were supposed to do?
What about emotional blackmail?
Are you trying? You're the one that come on now.
No. If they do that to me.
So.
And I can give you an example.
Give me an example.
You might not like this.
I'm listening.
A good friend of mine's father passed away. I've known him my whole life since I was 8.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Stay right there. When we come forward, we're going to go back to Carson because Eric is out here wilding.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The reason for this state of affairs is that he is deluding himself that he is his physical body and his sense organs. In order to satisfy this physical body and sense organs, he makes ceaseless efforts to get at objects which can give him satisfaction and joy. మానవుడు ఆశించినటువంటి ఆనందము బయట ప్రపంచమునందు లేదు. But the joy which he is looking for and searching for is not available in the external world.
Listen, I love my guy Sai Baba, man. Gosh, I wanted him to cook more, but we got Eric on the line, and Eric is on fire, right? Eric, I'm going to hit you with this one piece, and then I got to move to the next callers. Eric?
Yes.
How much of this is rooted in your pride?
I guess I could see that point.
I'm just asking, how much of it? Not I guess if I could see. I didn't ask if you could see it. I said how much of this is rooted in your pride?
At least 50%.
Exactly. Listen, brother. You can only, let me just say this. You can only help the willing. You can only co-heal with the willing. And all you can do is let people know that you're willing. But it can't be conditional willing. I'm willing if you're willing. It has to be a level of consciousness, willingness, as Dr. David R. Hawkins describes as 350 on his consciousness grid scale. Willingness. I am willing. Not because you're willing, but I'm at a level consciously of willing. I'm at a consciousness level of willingness. You have to be there, but your ego has you somewhere else. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and I'm going to listen to what you are saying.
I appreciate you, E. Call in anytime, good brother, all right?
Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother. Eric from Carson is in the house. Attila, we got to push quick. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So first of all, prayers go out to that brother. But I really like the way that you walked him through the process of learning how to observe yourself, because that's basically what this is. Learning how to observe, watch yourself and your behaviors, and just kind of keep track of why certain things are important to you or not. And just kind of keep a level head. But I think at the base of a lot of conflict is just, that's the FIGO, it's the fear and ego. So as long as we keep that in check, we're good to go. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
I love it. Niece, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the house right now, up against the clock. You think we gonna stop? Wrong. We got our brother, Reverend L from Dallas, Texas, on deck from Houston to Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, Reverend L? Rev L. Rem L. Rem?
Okay, I'm here.
Okay,
yeah,
there we go. I had to call you in, Rem. Rem, what are your thoughts?
Man, okay, in the very beginning, you were talking about the what you can deal with, you know, your non-negotiables and your stuff like that. I saw Attila said something about somebody calling out a name. I can understand that on some ends, especially for men and women. But I guess my little tip for tat is that it's a tip for tat that delusional, where I had a scenario where I spoke to a young lady, answered the phone. I didn't answer the phone. Turned right back around. I called her. She didn't answer the phone. So then a few minutes later, she called back, and I said, "Hey, nothing out the way." I said, "Hey, I called you back when I finished doing what I was doing." She said, "Oh, I didn't answer the phone because you didn't answer my phone call." And I'm like, what kind of common sense does that lack for you to do that? It's like, it wasn't a big issue, but that let me see what type of character that they have, and how you gonna go further. And I think sometimes we kind of negotiate what that person has to kind of either heighten that non-negotiable or lessen that non-negotiable. Because, a fine chick can get away with certain stuff sometimes that a non-fine chick can't.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you, brother. Hey.
Yeah, that's all I want to just say, brother Zoe.
Guess what you just did?
Brought Dallas, Texas in the building. Shout out to Highland Hills.
Yes, sir. Reverend L from Dallas, Texas, man. We appreciate the call. Thank you.
Right on.
Right on. Hey, so, again, we start the conversations. It's really up to you to finish them. But please understand, man, sometimes conflict can slip into your relationships in the most subtle ways. Like, when does taking responsibility become a subtle demand for absolution? Right? I'm taking responsibility because really you want to be forgiven for it. Yes, I'm sorry for what I did because you want to be forgiven for it. Performative apologies can manipulate for premature closure, right? The semantic load of responsibility to avoid implicit expectation, right? True responsibility is free of transactional energy. A lot of times, man, we're trying to get what we feel we deserve, and usually that's coming from a wounded childhood space, right? I'm going to have to manipulate to get what I want. Remember, we said this before, right? Remember, all insecure attachment styles have learned to manipulate in order to get what they didn't get in childhood. And I'm going to tell you, man, conflict is born out of that when those wounds get triggered. Listen, we started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. This has been an amazing week of shows. It flew by quick. Listen, I'm gone. I'll see y'all next week.
Now you calling me special when you know I can't have you. When I'm under the next one, oh, now you want to get aggressive. Oh, do you mean you keep on making me believe nightmares turn into a dream? If you're so toxic to me, what am I feeling? Cause I thought it was over. Got me thinking my feelings over. You keep doing it over and over. You keep calling me back. I'm just trying to get closer. But you're pulling me closer and closer. For me, you're like over and over. Cause you keep calling me back.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.